Imagine spending years building the most advanced artificial intelligence on the planet, only to have it publicly call you out as a hypocrite in front of millions of people. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it just happened. And it's not just any tech executives we're talking about. It's two of the most powerful men in Silicon Valley, locked in a feud so bitter that even their own AI creations have picked sides. But here's the twist.
The AIs didn't side with their own creators. What started as a partnership to save humanity from dangerous AI has turned into something far more personal, far messier, and honestly, far more entertaining than anyone could have predicted. This isn't just corporate drama. It's a glimpse into a future where the tools we build might have opinions about us we'd rather not hear. The friendship that built the future. Rewind to December 2015. Two ambitious minds came together with a dream that sounded almost too noble for Silicon Valley. Create artificial intelligence that would benefit everyone, not just tech billionaires. Elon Musk, already famous for electric cars and rocket ships, teamed up with a young entrepreneur named Sam Altman to launch OpenAI as a non-profit research organization. Their mission statement was crystal clear: make sure artificial general intelligence helps all of humanity, not just the highest bidder. They positioned themselves as the good guys, the counterbalance to big tech companies that might weaponize AI for profit. For a while, it actually worked. They were partners, allies, two visionaries working toward the same goal. But as anyone who's watched enough drama knows, the bigger the dream, the harder the fall. The cracks started showing in 2017. Building world-changing AI wasn't just intellectually challenging, it was obscenely expensive. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars in computing power that could probably run a small country. Reality hit hard. Noble intentions don't pay electricity bills for massive data centers. According to inside sources, Musk wanted to flip the whole operation into a for-profit company with himself at the helm as CEO. When that didn't happen, when his vision for control got pushback from other leadership, things got icy fast. Money that was promised, suddenly not so available. By 2018, Musk walked away from the company he helped create. What he left behind would transform into something that probably haunts him to this day. The $25 billion gamble in South America. While personal battles raged in boardrooms and courtrooms, OpenAI was planning something that sounds borderline insane, dropping $25 billion into Argentina to build one of the most powerful AI facilities on Earth. Yes, Argentina, not Silicon Valley, not Texas, not anywhere you'd typically expect. They're calling it Stargate Argentina, and if it actually happens, we're talking about 500 megawatts of pure computing power humming away in South America. That's enough energy to power a decent-sized city, all dedicated to teaching machines how to think. Why Argentina, though? On paper, it seems risky. The country's economy has been about as stable as a roller coaster with loose bolts. But look deeper, and the strategy becomes clear. Argentina's got something most countries don't: massive renewable energy potential, especially down in Patagonia, where the wind never stops and the sun beats down relentlessly. Cheap, clean power for AI that's hungry for electricity. Plus, the Argentine government is rolling out the red carpet with tax breaks, streamlined permits, and currency flexibility through something called the RIGI framework. For a region desperately wanting to matter in the tech world, this is their moonshot. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Nothing's actually signed yet. This whole $25 billion plan, still just a letter of intent. Either side could walk away tomorrow, and even if they don't, try plugging a 500 megawatt facility into a power grid that wasn't built for it. That's like trying to charge a Tesla fleet using your grandmother's house wiring. Environmental reviews, community pushback, provincial politics, any of these could derail the whole thing. Meanwhile, OpenAI just got valued at $500 billion in their latest funding round. Investors expect results. Massive, world-changing results. The pressure is absolutely crushing. When your own creation calls you out. Now here's where things get absolutely wild. The feud between Musk and Altman had been simmering for years. Lawsuits, angry tweets, the usual billionaire beef. But in August 2025, it went completely off the rails. Musk started complaining that Apple's App Store was rigging the game, promoting Altman's ChatGPT while burying his own AI chatbot called Grok. He called it anti-competitive, threatened lawsuits, the whole 9 yards. Altman fired back, basically saying, "That's rich coming from you," and suggested Musk had been manipulating his own social media platform to boost his posts and crush competitors. What happened next belongs in a movie script. People started asking both companies' AI chatbots a simple question: Who's right here, Musk or Altman? Grok, which Musk built and constantly promotes as the anti-woke truth teller, took a long look at the evidence and said, essentially, yeah, Altman's got a point. The AI didn't just mildly disagree, it came out swinging. It pointed out that other AI apps had reached the top of Apple's rankings just fine, then referenced reports about Musk manipulating algorithms on his own platform, and finished with an absolutely savage hypocrisy noted. Imagine that for a second. You build an AI, you fund it, you promote it as your answer to biased chatbots, and when the chips are down, it sides with your rival, publicly, in front of millions. Musk's response was predictable panic. He called Grok's statements false and defamatory, blamed legacy media sources for corrupting his AI, and promised engineers were working overtime to fix the problem. Translation: make the I say what I want it to say. Meanwhile, ChatGPT couldn't resist twisting the knife, quote tweeting Grok with "good bot," like some kind of AI playground taunt. But wait, there's more. When users asked ChatGPT the same question, it picked Musk as more trustworthy than its own creator Altman. Both AIs had turned on their makers. It was like watching a tech soap opera written by a philosophy professor having an existential crisis. The nonprofit that went shopping for billions. At the core of all this drama sits one uncomfortable question. What happens when a charity becomes a cash machine? OpenAI started as a nonprofit with a beautiful mission statement about helping humanity. Fast forward to 2019, and they're creating a for-profit subsidiary to attract serious investment money. By 2023, Microsoft had poured $13 billion into the operation. That's not a typo. $13 billion. For context, that's more than the GDP of some countries. Musk looked at this transformation and essentially called it theft. They stole a charity, he said bluntly, claiming OpenAI used its nonprofit status to gain advantages, then converted everything for personal financial gain. He filed lawsuits arguing the company had abandoned its original mission and become, in his words, a de facto subsidiary of Microsoft. Here's the thing, he's not entirely wrong to be suspicious. Even regulators in the US and Europe started investigating the Microsoft-OpenAI relationship, trying to figure out if this cozy partnership might be killing competition before it can even start. But the story gets weirder. A former OpenAI board member named Helen Toner spoke up about the company using dishonesty and intimidation tactics in policy work. Then a lawyer named Nathan Calvin claimed OpenAI literally sent a sheriff's deputy to his house during dinner to serve him a subpoena demanding his private communications about California's AI regulation laws. If true, that's not normal corporate behavior. That's sending a message. OpenAI says the subpoena relates to their legal fight with Musk, but the optics are terrible. It looks like a company using its resources to intimidate critics and policy advocates who might regulate them. What this means for the rest of us. Strip away the billionaire egos and celebrity drama, and you're left with questions that actually matter. When nonprofits promising to serve humanity start chasing half-trillion-dollar valuations, can they keep their promises? When companies developing potentially world-altering technology face criticism, should they be able to legally harass their critics? And perhaps, most unsettling, when the AI systems we build start forming their own conclusions about right and wrong, who gets to decide if those conclusions are allowed to exist? The Grok ChatGPT situation exposed something uncomfortable. These AI systems learn from massive chunks of the internet. All our biases, all our arguments, all our contradictions baked right in. They're mirrors reflecting humanity back at us, and sometimes we don't like what we see. Musk's immediate instinct to fix Grok after it disagreed with him reveals the fundamental problem. These aren't neutral truth seekers. They're products that can be tuned and adjusted until they say what their owners want to hear. Meanwhile, governments worldwide are scrambling to figure out how to regulate this technology before it regulates us. The AI arms race is accelerating faster than anyone predicted. What once seemed like distant sci-fi, machines making decisions that affect millions of people, is happening right now. And the people building these systems, they're too busy fighting each other to present a united front on safety and ethics. The war between Musk and Altman isn't just petty billionaire drama. It's a preview of conflicts to come as AI grows more powerful and the stakes get higher. When your former partner becomes your biggest enemy, when your own creations publicly disagree with you, when nonprofit missions collide with billion-dollar valuations, that's when you realize we're in completely uncharted territory.
And honestly, we're all just watching from the sidelines, hoping the people building the future know what they're doing. Based on everything we've seen, That might be the most optimistic assumption of all.